All right, let's get right into it. Welcome to today's Explainer. I have to say, if you've been following along with our tactical breakdowns, today is a massive milestone for us. We're shifting our focus to a side of the game that honestly often goes completely unnoticed by the casual fan, but it's absolutely essential for understanding how great teams actually win championships. Today, we're learning exactly how elite teams defend.
You know, there's a core philosophy that goes, great analysts don't only understand goals, they understand why goals don't happen. And I want to challenge you right now. The next time you sit down to watch a match, stop just watching the ball. Seriously, we're going to reprogram how you see the game so you can start picking up on the invisible tactical chess match happening all over the pitch. Because when a goal doesn't happen, it is rarely an accident. It's totally by design.
So, here is our game plan for today. 1. The art of not conceding. 2. Mastering marking systems. 3. Defensive lines and traps. 4. Shadows, cover, and balance. And 5. Analyzing the perfect defense.
Let's kick things off with Section 1, the art of not conceding. To really understand a clean sheet, or exactly why a defense breaks down, you have to train yourself to look backward in time. This is a pro tip that completely separates the amateurs from the pros. When a team concedes, it's so easy to just point the finger at the goalkeeper, right? I mean, we've all done it. But top analysts, they hit rewind. They look 10 to 15 seconds before the ball actually hit the back of the net. They ask the really tough questions. Was the midfield press broken carelessly? Did someone fail to track a runner? Was the defensive line pushed up maybe just a yard too high? A goal is almost always the final result of a cascading series of mistakes that started way earlier.
Moving right along to Section 2, Mastering Marking Systems.
This is the absolute foundation of how teams structure themselves to prevent those initial mistakes we just talked about. It basically comes down to a choice between two philosophies. First up, man marking. You assign a defender to follow a specific opponent literally wherever they go. The big perk here is that it makes it incredibly difficult for a dangerous playmaker to even receive the ball. But imagine a smart striker deliberately dropping deep into the midfield. If the center back strictly follows him out, suddenly, boom, there is a massive gaping hole right in the heart of the defense. Then on the flip side, you have zonal marking. Instead of following a guy, you protect a specific area of the pitch. Whoever enters your zone becomes your problem. This keeps your team's shape beautifully intact and minimizes those dangerous gaps. The catch, though, is that it requires absolutely flawless communication to pass attackers off from one zone to the next.
But here's the reality check. Real, modern football rarely relies purely on just one of these systems. Elite teams almost always use a hybrid system. In open play, you're mostly going to see zonal marking to keep that structure solid. But during set pieces, like corners, the whole dynamic changes. You'll often see a mix of both. Teams will have players marking specific high-threat targets man-to-man, while others guard critical zones, like the near post. So next time there's a corner, don't watch the kicker. Watch how the defenders dynamically organize themselves in the box before the whistle even blows.
All right, Section 3, defensive lines and traps. Let's look squarely at the back four.
The strategic positioning of the defensive line literally dictates the entire tempo of the match. If a team plays a high defensive line, pushing way up the pitch, they keep the whole unit incredibly compact. It totally suffocates the opponent's midfield. But the risk? It leaves acres of green grass behind them, which is an absolute dream for a blisteringly fast striker to exploit. Alternatively, a team might use a deep defensive line, sitting way back near their own penalty box. This is incredibly tough to play through because there's just no space behind the defenders at all. The trade-off, though, is that you're inviting the opponent into your half and letting them dominate possession. It is a constant tactical tightrope.
And if you are playing that high line, you absolutely must master the offside trap. This is wild to watch because it requires professional defenders to move with almost telepathic synchronization. As the opponent winds up to pass, the entire backline steps forward in unison. The striker gets caught off guard, doesn't move back in time, and up goes the flag. It's beautiful when it works, but here's the catch. If even one single defender hesitates and stays behind, playing the striker onside, the whole trap spectacularly fails. You're usually looking at a one-on-one with your goalkeeper at that point.
Let's step into the advanced stuff. Section 4, shadows, cover, and balance.
These are essentially the invisible shields teams use to dictate play, kind of the dark arts of defending. Let's start with cover and balance. Defending isn't just about the guy pressuring the ball. Say your left back aggressively steps up to press the winger. If they get beaten, who's there? That is where cover comes in. The left center back has to immediately shift across, and maybe the defensive midfielder drops in slightly. They are covering the dangerous space left behind. while the rest of the defense adjusts their spacing to keep the balance of the backline intact. It's a beautifully synchronized dance.
Now this next concept is simply brilliant, and it's one of the most subtle tools in the game, the cover shadow. Imagine you're a striker pressing an opposition center back. Instead of sprinting directly at him in a straight line, you slightly angle your run. By doing this, you position your body so that it actively blocks the passing lane to their defensive midfielder. You are simultaneously pressuring the player on the ball while completely cutting off their best passing option. You're literally defending a player you aren't even standing next to. That's the power of the cover shadow.
And that brings us to rest defense, which is kind of a hilarious term because there's absolutely zero resting involved here. It highlights the elite mindset that you must always be defending even when you have the ball. When your team is launching an all-out attack, if you lose possession, who is left to stop the counter? Top teams meticulously plan their rest defense, making sure specific players, usually the center backs and a holding midfielder, stay strategically positioned behind the ball. They're actively locking the back door while the rest of the team is up attacking.
Okay, you've got the vocabulary. You understand the mechanics. Section 5, Analyzing the Perfect Defense.
Let's step right into the commentary box and put all these tactical puzzle pieces together. The team defended in a compact 4-4-2 shape. The striker used his cover shadow to block the pass into midfield, forcing play towards the touchline. The center backs held a disciplined defensive line, and when possession was lost, the midfielders made quick recovery runs to protect the back four. Their excellent organization prevented clear chances throughout the match. Seeing all those elements click together, that is how you read the game.
To lock this in, let's do a really quick rapid-fire review of our elite tactical vocabulary. Compactness, squeezing the space. Cover shadow, defending with your body angle. Rest defense, locking the back door while you attack. Recovery run, sprinting back with purpose the exact second the ball is lost. And screening, intentionally blocking those passing lanes. These aren't just fancy buzzwords, guys. They are the secret keys to understanding the mechanics of the sport.
So I want to leave you with this final thought. What tactical battle is happening right now? The next time you turn on a match, I'm challenging you to look past the ball. Look at the lines, look at the shadows, look at the preparation happening before the pass is even made. Keep that curiosity alive, and for sure, you'll never watch the game the same way again. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer. I'll see you next time.